Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Hello everyone. If we were to choose one of the nearly 200 countries in the world with the longest and most tumultuous history, China would undoubtedly be a name that cannot be missed.
This country has a history spanning thousands of years, with dozens of different feudal dynasties, each establishing its capital in a different location. Cities that once served as capitals of China's feudal dynasties are always incredibly unique and fascinating places. This is because they are tied to the astonishing historical secrets of this vast country, which even the most brilliant scientists of our time have yet to fully explain. Xi'an, the ancient capital of many Chinese feudal dynasties, is precisely such a city. Not only is it the starting point of the legendary Silk Road, but what impresses many people most when mentioning this ancient capital are the horrifying secrets related to the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. A magnificent architectural structure buried deep underground, over 2,000 years old. So what makes the ancient capital Xi'an special? What mysteries does it hide about the seemingly impenetrable mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang? Join us in decoding them in the following video. Xi'an is the capital city of Shaanxi Province, located in the northwest region of China. Xi'an is one of the four great ancient capitals of China, having served as the capital for 13 dynasties, and is also the eastern terminus of the legendary Silk Road.
In meaning, and is the largest and most developed city in the central to northeastern region and ranks 10th among China. By the end of 2020, Xi'an had a population of nearly 13 million, with a gender composition of 51.66% male and 48.34% female.
The most populous district is Yanta, with 1.8 million residents. The majority of Xi'an's population is Han Chinese, accounting for 99.1% of the total, with about 50,000 people belonging to ethnic minorities, including 80,000 Hui people, concentrated in the Muslim quarter, home to the 1,360-year-old Xi'an Great Mosque.
The GDP in 2020 was $154 billion, ranking 39th among China's 659 cities.
Xi'an is an industrial city and the largest developed area in northwest China.
Among Chinese cities, if Xi'an is a grandparent, Beijing is merely a young adult, and Shanghai is still a baby in the womb, and was the first capital among China.
With over 3,100 years of history, marking many pivotal moments in Chinese history, Chang'an City, situated on the Guangzhong Plain, is the cradle of the Yellow River Basin civilization, closely associated with historical figures such as Qin Shi Huang, Emperor Tang Bingwan, Wu Zetian, etc. 13 Chinese dynasties established their capitals here for 1,100 to 1,500 years, including the Western Zhou, Qin, Western Han, Sui, Tang, Ming, etc. Creating a splendid and magnificent capital, the bustling streets are filled with grand temples and mausoleums that have become ancient architectural heritage sites today, such as the Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, Xi'an Mausoleum, Gaming Palace, the City Wall, Bell Tower, Drum Tower, Naian Pagoda, etc.
This place is also the first link in the eastern terminus of the legendary Silk Road. Because of this, Xi'an's reputation is often compared to that of Athens in Greece, Cairo in Egypt, and Rome in Italy. Today, these four legendary places are collectively known as the four great ancient capitals of the world. However, looking back in history, after the decline of the Tang dynasty, China's capital was moved east to Luoyang in 904. Although Xi'an remained the eastern starting point of the Silk Road, it never regained its political and cultural status. Over the years, it became a provincial city surrounded by arid farmlands, ancient architectural structures, temples and monasteries that were severely damaged during the Cultural Revolution. Until 1974, after farmers digging a well discovered the Terracotta Army, Shi.
3 decades later, the city of Xi'an has become a center for software processing and service provision for other regions. The local government has also invested heavily in tourism development. Ancient structures and museums have been restored, and Buddhist heritage sites and Tang Dynasty-era buildings have been reconstructed,
but mainly for tourism purposes. and associated with the story of Xuanzang. Known to many Vietnamese as Tang Sanzang, and a place where ancient Buddhist scriptures are preserved.
The pagoda has 7 stories, stands 64.5 meters tall, is made of red earth, and from the top of the pagoda, one can overlook the entire city of Xi'an and admire the carvings and Buddha statues. This structure is part of the Daxing Temple complex, with a large statue of Xuanzang standing right in front of it. Behind the complex is North Square, featuring a large fountain and numerous sculptures. Legend has it that this is where Xuanzang translated Buddhist scriptures after returning from his. In 629, Xuanzang set out from China on a pilgrimage to Buddhist lands, returning to China in 645. Xuanzang established a massive translation center to translate Buddhist scriptures from Sanskrit to Chinese after returning from India. The Dailong Pagoda was built in 652 to house the translated Buddhist scriptures. Initially, the pagoda had 5 stories and was rebuilt in 704 during the reign of Wu Zetian. The exterior brick facing of the pagoda was in 1966, the Red Guards burned scriptures, wall-hanging silk paintings, and many other artifacts in a large fire that lasted all night.
But now, that destruction has almost been forgotten. And tourists still flock to the recently restored temple, with its lamps and Buddhist altars. The remaining original trace is the 7-story pagoda lit up every night, standing out against the city skyline. And originally meant.
However, completely contrary to its name, this place has witnessed countless conspiracies, struggles for power, and usurpations, and has been the starting and ending point of many dynasties.
Firsts.
And the ancient capital Xi'an is precisely where he chose as his eternal resting place, with the grandest mausoleum in human history. From the moment he ascended the throne, Qin Shi Huang began constructing his tomb. So after his death, he left behind the world's largest tomb, 78 times larger than the Forbidden City.
The over 2,000-year-old tomb seems like a massive, mysterious treasure that modern science still cannot fully decipher.
Buried beneath the fields are thousands of intricately crafted terracotta warriors from the 3rd century BC, during Qin Shi Huang's reign. This army was placed in a vast burial pit, not far from Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum.
The statues, molded from terracotta, not only resemble real people in shape,
but more remarkably, each statue has a distinct, very lifelike facial expression. The soldiers and horses stand majestically, arranged in orderly rows, showcasing the formidable military strength. To date, archaeologists have discovered 4 burial pits with 8,000 terracotta soldiers, 130 chariots, and 520 horses.
But this is only a small part of the entire army. The rest is still being excavated and studied.
This army remains a great mystery to the archaeological community.
Many experts have proven that this army is a simulation of the real army under Qin Shi Huang.
Not only are the facial features different, but the height of the statues and even the chariots are modeled after real sizes.
To refute the hypothesis that these are mass-produced items, years and found that each statue This is the clearest evidence that this army was modeled after a real-life army.
According to Sima Qian's historical records, this king was so insane that he built an entire underground world with the purpose that after death,
he could be reborn and continue to rule his army.
Thousands of luminous pearls were embedded under the burial pit to simulate the starry sky of the real world. The Terracotta Army was built with the purpose of protecting this king.
This can be considered one of the craziest ideas of all time.
The Terracotta Army is also known as the Immortal Army. The people of Xi'an often whisper that on every full moon night, this army comes to life and swears to protect their king forever.
Another widely circulated spiritual legend is the story of the never-extinguishing lamps in the tomb.
These eternal lamps are considered the flame guarding the eternal sleep of the Qin Emperor. These seemingly unscientific lamps were actually found not only in Qin Shi Huang's tomb, but also in some other ancient tombs in China, or even abroad in Egypt and Greece,
where the existence of eternal lamps has been recorded. Initially, they were dismissed as baseless rumors. But later, much practical evidence showed that this eternal light is real.
Their appearance in ancient tombs is of a spiritual, mysterious aura. A hypothesis has long been proposed that the never-extinguishing lamps were lit with a special material, whale oil.
Not ordinary candle wax.
There are records in ancient Chinese books stating that whale oil was once used for lighting lamps because of its high durability.
Additionally,
The lamps were specially designed so that the whale oil, when melted, would flow back into the container. From then on, it could be reused indefinitely.
however, this explanation was later widely refuted.
Because the idea that a lamp could burn for thousands of years remained.
After centuries of debate,
Finally, an American scientist named Simon Hafer
published a research work that received widespread agreement from archaeologists worldwide regarding the eternal lamp. He spent over 3 decades persistently pursuing this research,
with more than 700 experiments to find the final answer. During this process, the scientist tested every type of fuel, adjusting various ratios to create a special fuel made from white phosphorus mixed with other flammable substances. This new substance has the property of being highly capable of self-igniting and difficult to evaporate. In ancient times, when building tombs, lamps lit with this substance were used to illuminate the way. When the tomb chamber was sealed, oxygen depleted, and the lamp would automatically. The special point is that when the tomb door was opened, oxygen from the air rushed in, and the lamp would light up again. After all, there is no such eternal light as people mistakenly,
but merely a self-igniting lamp.
Those who entered later did not know how long the light had been extinguished before they stepped into the tomb, so they had the illusion that this light had been burning for thousands of years. With a luxurious tomb, the most magnificent in human history, burying the great emperor of the most powerful empire on earth, this was certainly an extremely attractive lure for tomb robbers. However, thousands of years have passed. Through many successive dynasties, the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang has always remained an inviolable obsession for tombs. So to this day,
There is still no evidence showing
that this magnificent world-deep underground has ever been It is believed that the first line of defense in the tomb was using sand to form a sea of sand around it, so digging would cause sinking. This could be an anti-theft method that Qin Shi Huang had people create.
even if they could pass the first barrier.
Tomb robbers might lose their lives at the next line when advancing deeper inside. Historical records that in the ancient tomb there were many doors
Concealing crossbows.
When stepping in, they would shoot out, killing intruders along with countless other modern traps. Inside the pit of the Terracotta Army, archaeologists once excavated an extremely powerful, with a range of 831.6, with a tension exceeding 334 kilo. It cannot be pulled out relying solely on human arm strength.
If equipped with
Cluster or rapid-fire arrows,
it can defend itself without an operator.
this is the earliest automatic anti-theft weapon in history, astonishing and terrifying people.
How could the Qin dynasty create such an advanced weapon?
Millennia ahead of its era. Dear friends, in Xi'an, there is not only the mysterious mausoleum of but also many architectural works deeply imprinted with historical. First to mention is the Xi'an city wall, construction of which began in the 14th century under Su Yanzhong. He was the first emperor of the Ming dynasty. According to accounts by hermits, Su Yanzhong built this project to protect the city and contribute to unifying the country. This city wall is considered the most complete and best preserved still existing in China,
And is one of the world's largest-scale ancient military defense systems.
The original Xi'an city wall construction began in 194 BC and was completed 4 years later. The first version was built with rammed earth, layered and compact. The wall's foundation layer includes lime, soil, and glutinous rice extract,
all combined to create an extremely solid wall.
Approximately every 120 meters, there is a wash, and the entire wall has a total of 98 walls. Not only that, here there is also an extended rampart area, allowing soldiers on the wall to easily observe enemy attempts to climb. The Xi'an city wall has a total of 4 ending gate, Changla Gate, Anyuan Gate, and Yangning Gate. These gates are located at the east, west, south, and north directions of the wall. Among them, Yangning Gate is the most magnificently and beautifully decorated. Each entrance gate has 3 watchtowers,
One of them is located outside, separate from the wall, used to raise or lower the drawbridge over the moat.
Between the watchtowers, there is a rather steep passage leading to the highest area of the wall.
In the past, this very sturdy structure prevented invaders from crossing. The names of the 4 city gates carry the following meanings: eternal harmony in the north, eternal peace in the south, peace in the west, and eternal joy in the east.
The south gate is quite close to the city center of the bell tower.
At this gate, people often hold important ceremonies.
Entering the center of Xi'an, in the heart of the city, lies the bell tower, an attractive destination of the ancient capital with millennia. Notably, the bell tower is very close to the drum tower, hence also known as the sister buildings. These are also the 2 towers linked to the unfinished ambition of Emperor Zhu Yanzhong. The drum tower and bell tower of Xi'an are structures built by the Ming dynasty Zhu Yanzhong over 600 years ago to prepare for moving the capital, but this plan was ultimately cancelled. After overthrowing the Yuan dynasty, Zhu Yanzhong established. Later, he conceived the idea of moving the capital, hoping the dynasty he founded would prosper like the Western Han and Tang dynasty. Both dynasties established their capital. In 1380, he ordered the construction of the drum tower in the center of Xi'an. The tower is 34 meters high, or 36 meters including the base, built on a rectangular foundation covering nearly 1,400. The tower was constructed with bricks and wood, roofed with gray tiles, painted red and gilded inside with intricately carved wooden. The tower has 2 stories and originally housed a giant drum, but that drum no longer exists. In 1996, the city of Xi'an decided to create a new drum modeled after the ancient one. This drum is 1.8 meters high, 2.83 meters in diameter, and the first floor of the tower also hangs many large, decorated with calligraphy to symbolize good luck. These drums are for display only, and visitors are not allowed to touch them. Inside the tower, there is now a museum displaying some dating back thousands of years. The bell tower is located about 200 meters west,
built in 1384.
The tower stands at the intersection of 4 bustling main roads in the city center. The tower was built with wood and bricks, with a height and area similar to the drum tower. Legend has it that during the Ming dynasty, a major earthquake occurred in Xi'an and the surrounding areas, causing thousands of casualties. The cause was believed to be a Jiaolong's
head and a fish,
causing trouble in the river flowing through the center of Xi'an,
and ordered the city
to forge an iron chain thousands of yards long and drop it into the river. He then ordered 5,000 craftsmen to repair the bell tower day and night to suppress the Jiaolong. Since then, earthquakes have never occurred in Xi'an again. These 2 structures in Xi'an were even larger than the bell and drum towers in the then capital Nanjing. This reflected Zhu Yanzhang's intention to move it, but ultimately, this plan did not materialize. Crown Prince Zhu Biao passed away after his inspection tour. Losing his successor, Zhu Yanzhang was heartbroken, and from then on, he never mentioned the idea of moving the capital to Xi'an again. Xi'an also has a destination that captivates visitors with its romantic and picturesque scenery. That is the Tang Paradise. Tang Paradise began construction in 2002, was completed in 2004, and officially opened in 2005. Tang Paradise is the largest park in northwest China,
and the first park built in the Shangyuan garden style.
The exhibition area is divided into 5 styles, representing the 5 senses: sight, hearing,
smell, touch, and taste.
The fragrance of essential oils spreads throughout the 1,000, turning Tang Paradise into a fairyland paradise. This is a nationally rated 5A tourist attraction.
Various special programs are held in the park every night
to serve visiting tourists, such as court music and dance performances, costume shows, martial arts demonstrations, and light and water fountain shows. This place is also often chosen as a venue for organizing and important national-level events to promote China's historical and cultural image. Not only does it possess picturesque scenery, this park also displays and introduces Tang Dynasty, including poetry, literature, music, painting. This park has even been selected as a filming location for many famous television dramas.
The glory of Tang Dynasty.
Located on the side of Mount Li, with the Wing River to the north, about 30 kilometers from Xi'an City, there is a scenic spot that attracts the attention of many tourists, which is Watching Palace. This is a 5A level tourist attraction. and also a key cultural and historical relic preservation site. Watching Palace is famous both in China and worldwide, because it has witnessed many famous historical stories. First is the story of King Yu of Zhou lying beaten and losing the kingdom just for Bao's. During the Western Zhou period, around the 8th century BC, King Yu of Zhou was infatuated with Bao, a great beauty of ancient time, but her face was always sorrowful, sad because she missed her home. King Yu of Zhou devised suddenly ordering the guards to light beacon fires on a beacon tower on the summit of Mount as a signal that the Western Zhou was under it, so the feudal lords would bring troops to rescue. When Bao saw the disappointed expressions of the feudal lords who came to rescue, she burst into loud. King Yu of Zhou was extremely delighted, and later repeated this trick many times to exchange for the beauty's smile. Because of this joke, King Yu of Zhou died tragically when attacked by Ed, when he lit beacon fires on the beacon tower, but no feudal lords came to rescue. This is one of many proofs that for a beauty, even one's life can be lost. The most impressive and the most special one at watching is linked to the very romantic, but also very tragic love between Emperor Xuanzang of Tang and Consort Yang was originally the daughter-in-law, that is, the wife of the 18th prince, Prince Shou Liao. However, Emperor Xuanzang of Tang was quickly captivated by Consort Yang's pure. Consort Yang went from being a daughter-in-law to becoming the wife of who was over 30 years older than her. Because he was infatuated with Emperor Xuanzang of Tang, immersed himself, neglecting state of all matters, big and small, in the court were handed over to Consort Yang's cousin, Prime Minister Yang Guzhang. Emperor Xuanzang of Tang was forced by his ministers to order the Yang Yifei passed away at the age of 38. Her body was hastily buried by the roadside. Later, Emperor Xuanzang of Tang sent people to retrieve it for a grand funeral. The tragic love story between Emperor Xuanzang of Tang and Yang Yifei has been becoming an inspiration for many literary and poetic, as well as later art forms such as painting, storytelling, drama, and film.
Song of Everlasting Sorrow,
a masterpiece about unending love and regret penned by the talented Bai Zhui. When setting foot in the 1,000-year-old cultural capital of Xi'an, we not only get to admire famous scenic spots but also have the opportunity to and understand more about Chinese history and culture. Xi'an is a place where history and modernity interest, alongside economic development. Xi'an has always focused on preserving the ancient beauty of a former capital.
Dear friends, within the heart of Xi'an,
this ancient capital holds many secrets of Chinese. The mausoleum of the first Qin emperor has always been a with astonishing artifacts that modern people are eager to explore. Many mysteries about this unique architectural complex still require extensive research efforts from the modern site. What impresses you most about this historical site in the land of billions? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section at the end of the. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell
to continue joining us in exploring many interesting destinations ahead.
For now, goodbye and see you next time.
Gian Mi Go.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.